Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Color X Malice along Aiji Yanagi's route. We still haven't found Psyche. I guess that's really the one big goal left. So let us resume. We have 2 days left till X day at this point. So you can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Good evening. After work, Okazaki walked me back to the office. And Emoto and Sasazaka were there. Man, he's back on duty already. I thought Yanagi was on the roof as usual, but Enomoto said he'd gone to the store. You're here too, Sasazaka.
Just to give a report. Not like there's much to report, though. We've got no idea where Psyche is. It's just eerily quiet. I wonder if it'll end up like this. No way, right?
I sure hope not.
Thanks to Akito's cooperation, we're in control of almost all of the Adonis network. Using their members' communications, we've been hunting down the remaining terrorists, but there's nothing on Psyche, and there are still many members across Japan, plus any unknowns that surround the case. With a word from their elder, Psyche, they could leap into action at any moment. It won't end with just a few deaths.
Yeah.
I've been wondering, what exactly does Adonis consider a criminal?
Huh? Enomoto mumbled out a question, his face serious. Exactly, they've been very vague. We've already mentioned that.
For example, Seaweed Head always slips back into his hacking habits, so he's a total criminal. The hell? Better a criminal than a moron. I've never broken the law, but I've definitely hurt people. I've unwittingly hurt people. A lot of people have suffered because of me, even if I wasn't directly responsible. From someone's point of view, it'd be a sin. They're crimes that the law can't judge. You could go on forever once you start. I wanted to kill someone before.
Who, Mineo?
Oh, wait, what?
There's someone I wanted to take revenge on. If they were in front of me, I might have actually done it. Oh, really?
It was just a matter of timing that I didn't. That's all. That kind of thing would be possible to say about just about anyone. Yeah, I heard about Yanagi's past, but he embraced his sin and kept on living. He was prepared for someone to chase him. Hey, Hoshino! I'm sorry.
Oh, what for? I didn't know why he'd suddenly apologized. I couldn't remember anything he had done to me he needed to apologize for. When I blinked in confusion, Enomoto looked away guiltily.
At first, I really thought you were tied to the criminals. I probably said a lot of things to hurt you.
In the beginning. Everybody made me feel so unwanted.
But you tried so hard. It must have been so painful that you wanted to run, but you faced the danger head on. I'm bummed that we still haven't been able to find Psyche yet, but that isn't because it's your fault. We have to face this together. There's no need for you to shoulder this burden on your own.
Enomoto. His words moved me deeply. He acknowledged me. That made me the happiest of all. I thought of him as a friend, but it made my heart tremble to hear him actually say it.
Pathetic self-satisfaction. What's the point of apologizing?
Sasazaka, as usual, had to chime in with a retort.
I don't want her forgiveness. I just figured I should try to be better. That's why you're just an idiot. Even a monkey can try. You asshole! That mouth will be the end of you someday. You'll get stabbed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Nah, and if it does, that's my business. I just do what I want. I'm not gonna get tied down by other people. That's why you should do what you want to, stupid cat.
It came to me when Sasazaka said it. I should do what I want. Well, what did I want to do?
Your position as cop, and your responsibility as Psyche's friend. Those are just obstacles to you now. You're thinking all these useless thoughts, because they're still weighing you down. You'd be way better off just following your instincts. You're an idiot after all.
What, you think if I just stop thinking as a cop or a Psyche's friend, that I can magically think of where he's hiding? Thank you. I just had to do what I wished. Enomoto and Sasazaka were pulling for me, and that gave me courage. Since Psyche carries out judgment that isn't bound by the law, we don't know who will be targeted. Kazuki had mentioned this before.
There isn't anyone alive who hasn't committed some kind of wrongdoing.
That was true for me, too. I couldn't claim to be completely innocent. Everybody has made mistakes, so if he was going to judge everyone, no human would be left alive in the end. That was something I was suspecting early on when they were talking about X Day. I was like, are they just going to blow up all of Shinjuku? Maybe he has changed his plan to that. Saiki wouldn't just have correct humans. There would be nobody left at all.
I'm back. Oh, Sasasuka and Hoshino, you're here. Yeah, we've been waiting for you. Here, this stupid cat should take a look too.
Oh, okay. This is a rather thick document.
It's the intel we've gained from interviewing Adonis leaders, and the stuff we hacked. We compiled them all into one.
That's convenient.
There's also a dossier on Yuzuru Saiki as well.
Is there new information on it that we don't know yet?
Listen, dumb cat. You need to clear your head. You probably know this, but nobody is under any assumption that New Year's is going to come and go without anything happening. Saiki will act. Read this and think about your next move.
Understood. I'll go home and focus on this.
Then get going.
Okay.
I'll take you home, Hoshino.
Even though Yanagi had just returned a moment ago, he graciously offered to escort me back home. I'm overjoyed that he wanted to take me home. But Okazaki is already waiting for me downstairs.
Oh, don't disappoint the man. It irritates me to see you relying on him all the time. Oh, I'm gonna hog you for myself this time.
That's what I like to hear. Okay. That makes me happy. I was caught off guard by his words, and I blurted out something embarrassing.
Damn, just watching this makes me blush. Those two are getting steamy.
Yeah, neither of them look particularly happy about this.
Romance between a girl in her 20s and a guy in his 30s is way too tepid, though.
Yanagi's only 28. Come on, he's not in his 30s. Don't be a jerk, Sasasuka.
But that's why they're trying to spice it up. By the way, Yanagi, or are you still calling her by her surname?
Ah, good question. No, I'm still calling him Yanagi.
Huh?
And Emoto suddenly chimed in with a completely random topic.
Lovers are supposed to use their first names with each other, right, Takeru? Don't look at me. You're just a romantic fool. But this is romance.
He's right. Speaking of romance, as a woman who had won her love in a progressive way, I really should push for more romance in my relationship. Yes, I did win my love in a progressive way, didn't I, in this? I love this. Ichiko was so... This route in particular, she was so nice and proactive. We'll see if she's the same for Sasasuka and Okazaki as well. She was pretty good with Shirashi. We're being pressured. We're being pressured into using each other's first names. When I glanced over at Yanagi, he was clearly making a troubled expression. It's true that Yanagi really only refers to people by their surnames. Maybe it was a habit spawned from his tendency to avoid getting involved with people. Although, if he did use my name to address me, that would mean I was special.
Come on, don't look at me so expectantly.
Can't we?
It's just tough to switch on the spot. You feel the same way, right?
Exactly. You're Yanagi, and for some reason I don't think I get used to calling you Aiji.
You don't have to force yourself to do it.
I'm not forcing myself to do anything. It's just unfamiliar. Besides, just once. I'm fine if you do it just one time, so please call me by my name.
Why has this suddenly become such a big deal for you?
It's a girl's fantasy. It's a guy's fantasy in a lot of places too, apparently. A lot of games and manga and anime. I don't really know why I framed it that way, but I think I made it clear that I wanted Yanagi to call me by my given name. I fixed my stare on Yanagi as his sealed lips slowly opened.
Ichika.
I will never understand this. Not deep in my heart. I understand it culturally, but... I hadn't imagined it being such a shock. I didn't need a mirror to know I was beet red. That's so embarrassing. Similarly, Yanagi had also buried his head in his hands. Oh. I was embarrassed, but ecstatic. I really wanted to exploit this opening. Oh, come on, don't make him say it over and over.
Huh. How am I embarrassed by something like that at my age?
Good question. How many girlfriends have you had anyway, Yanagi? Well, maybe it was because I was more special to him now. I couldn't ask that, of course, but I blushed even more just entertaining the thought. I'm so glad he showed me this side of himself. Now it's time to call him Aiji. Yanagi was always mature and dependable, but that also made him feel somewhat distant. The adorable way he palmed his head just from saying my name made me indescribably happy. Please, practice until you get used to it. I don't think I've ever seen him make that face before.
Alright, I will.
I'll practice too.
Sure thing.
I haven't said it yet. We were engulfed by this tidal wave of embarrassment.
Are we in a shoujo manga? You two can't keep your little dreamland up forever, so get a move on.
They were clearly sick of us. You there, Kazuki? The first thing I did when I got home was to call Kazuki's name. Today was December 30th. There were 2 days left until X Day. Tomorrow was the day of truth. We didn't have any warning, but I knew it would happen. What do you mean you didn't have any warning? You know exactly when it's coming. That's why there was something I needed to tell Kazuki.
Why are you looking all serious?
I want to talk about a serious topic. Mind if I come in?
Go ahead.
I entered the bedroom and plopped down on the nearest seat. Shaking his head, Kazuki sat across from me. Hey, if everything gets resolved and Shinjuku returns to normal, let's go see Mom and Dad and then have a proper talk with them together.
Huh?
Kazuki, you have a big dream, right? You want to be a musician. You don't want to run the business, right?
Yeah.
Then you should let Mom and Dad know that. Well, tell them that you'll try your hardest to reach your goal and ask for their support. They'll never know if you don't tell them, so they won't understand until you do.
Yeah.
I'll be rooting for you. My feelings were sincere, but I didn't know what would happen tomorrow. It was entirely possible that I wouldn't get to talk to our parents with Kazuki. I couldn't just ignore that risk. That's why I planned to contact them in advance. I wanted them to let Kazuki follow the path he wanted.
Hey.
What?
You already caught those Adonis guys, right?
Well, some of them. Yeah, we have. We haven't caught all of them.
But you don't need to be in danger anymore, right?
Kazuki.
Don't you go dying on me without even telling me.
I'll be sure to phone you first. Kazuki had probably figured out that Akito had been arrested. Ever since I had become involved with X Day, Kazuki's life had grown increasingly chaotic. What with bodyguards and all. Oh good, I'm glad they've been watching him. I assumed that he was probably anxious, afraid he might lose someone close again. It'll be alright. I won't die and leave you alone. I reached out and rested a hand on his head. It was the only way to express what I felt. It's basically their version of a hug. But there are still things that I have to do. Up to this point, so many people have helped me. I'm a weak, inexperienced rookie cop. I've only come so far thanks to the people surrounding me. It's thanks to them that I even faced you. I couldn't do it alone.
Huh?
I don't want to waste the sentiments of the people who are important to me. I want them to be happy every day. So, Kazuki, can you support my dream too?
Okay, I will.
I was sure he was still anxious. Him being on the verge of tears said it all. Still, Kazuki nodded. He was trying his best to accept how I felt. Thanks, Kazuki.
I've always had a bad temper, taking it out on you. Maybe I'm in my childish rebellious phase.
Oh.
I've been irresponsible, and I haven't tried to understand how you feel. I'm definitely going to succeed at music. I want to do what I love and get famous doing it. I won't just be coddled like I have until now. I'm going to help my big sis. So don't die on me. You make sure you survive and come back home.
Of course. It had been a long time since Kazuki called me his big sis. The nostalgic ring of that name steeled the resolve within me. Now then. After Kazuki went to sleep, I took out the stack of papers that Sasuke had given me. It was the dossier on Yuzuru's psyche. I had to read and understand it thoroughly, and then come up with the right answer tomorrow. There wouldn't be any new information. It was just a compilation of Mikuni's testimony and the intelligence gained. Well, that's disappointing. But it might spark an insight that gave us a lead on psyche, no matter how small it is. There are a lot of analysis from the criminal psychology perspective. When I poured through the torturous jargon, I felt that something was off. Was Psyche really thinking in such complex terms? It might be true that he was a criminal that the average person wouldn't comprehend. But, like Yanagi had once said, he was still a human, a creature that moved on emotion. His wish to erase sorrow. That's why he wanted a sympathizer. But like Shiraishi said, he didn't think there was anyone who would understand him. I think I understand him. I think I totally get the idea of what they're doing with him, the writers. So what sort of figure was the sympathizer that he sought? His ideal is a regular person who has the determination to fight and struggle in their daily life. He had committed many terrorist acts to teach people that malice was close to home. And he chose me as a test subject for his normal human and tried to test my resolve. When I thought it through to that conclusion, a troubled idea came to mind. He had said that in the end, he deserved to be killed as well. Meaning that even if his ideal world came to be, he wouldn't live in it.
I won't stand idly by any more. Enough of this unnecessary sadness. I have to erase it all.
I won't stand idly by anymore. Enough of this unnecessary sadness. He had looked so pained. It was a cry from the depths of his heart. He wants to end all the pain and suffering. Is that his wish? In that case, a sympathizer wasn't someone who could understand Psyche. What if it was someone who would inherit his ideals after the sorrow was gone? Let's think about this more deeply. I didn't know if I was correct or not. I was slowly putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I read the report over and over, going over the details, thinking desperately. What was his true wish? Report on Yuzuru's psyche added. 1 day left until X day. Have we figured anything out? December 31st, 2:30 p.m. Hours left. Not even a day left, hours left. It was the day before X day. I had come to the shooting range to focus. Mochida had told me there wouldn't be any work for SRCPO today. He knew the situation and was worried about me, but he still saw me off with a smile. X day is tomorrow. If Psyche was going to move, today was the day. In other words, today was the only day left to stop him. Any ideas?
Hoshino.
Huh? I turned around when I heard my name. It was Yanagi. You came all the way here?
Morioka let me.
Morioka must have given Yanagi permission to come here, knowing that I was here.
Can you focus now?
Yes.
Have you collected your thoughts?
Yes.
Right now, there's not a lot I can do, but whatever happens, I'll back you up. I'll support your choices. I'll be with you. So, all you need to do is look straight ahead.
Okay. Psyche is waiting for me. He's definitely not trying to escape Shinjuku. And his final objective is to erase sorrow. Why would they even put to rule the country? If anybody's been paying attention to the game at all. He chose me because... this is where, see, the person who wrote this walkthrough kindly made a note here. The translation on this is completely wrong. This line is actually supposed to say he wants me to kill him. So this is the correct choice to make. It's just that it was translated improperly. Right now, Psyche is... Oh, no, why didn't I think of that before? I was thinking the only place that we really had before that we meet up was in the pub. But yeah, Shinjuku Garden is the other place that we have in common, so... Yep, the church in Shinjuku Garden. Psyche is where he first put the collar on me. I think he's at the church in Shinjuku Garden.
But isn't the area already under watch? I heard that there's no sign he's hiding there.
Yes, I heard that too. But I'm sure that he'll visit that place. Today, right before X Day begins. The reason was that Saiki was personally waiting for me to arrive. That's why I believed he'd be there. Saiki's final goal is to erase sorrow from the world. To do that, I think he wanted to test to see whether I'd be able to kill him. If I did, then other normal humans would use the same means that I did. That was what Saiki had decided. If the one who inherits his will repeats what he's done, his ideals will come true. He's set on that. Saiki will use himself to try and carry the experiment through to its final stage. That's why he's waiting for me.
I get it. If that's true, then it's likely he'd be waiting at the place the experiment began.
Yes, for me that's where everything all started.
Got it. The question now is whether we report this to HQ.
If we reported it, HQ could probably mobilize units to encircle and take Saiki into custody. If that happens, I won't be able to persuade him. He'd probably be killed in a shootout, without question. Of course, not reporting it could also lead to a similar outcome. Shinjuku Garden was sure to be under surveillance. But at least I could buy time. What was the right play, though? The right play is to report it. Alright, report it? I'll call it in. I'm a police officer, after all. I wanted to face Saiki, but I also couldn't ignore my duties and sense of justice as an officer. I didn't want to. Both were indispensable to me.
Are you sure?
Yes. I want to talk with him, though. If I tell Morioka and Minagishi, they'll get it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yanagi smiled. He seemed satisfied somehow.
You should do that. You're a police officer, so you should arrest him. I'll try to convince Morioka to let you handle negotiations.
Okay. Nobody's here? There was no one in the church. I thought there would be officers camped in the area, but there was no sign of them. Was I wrong?
It's too soon to say that for sure. The sun's only just set.
Yeah. He could still show up. Just as I thought that. Speak of the devil? I heard footsteps slowly approaching. I turned to look at the source of the sound. Saiki was there. He was expressionless. I couldn't read him.
So, you really came. If you didn't show after all the time I spent setting the table, I'd have been disappointed.
Why have you shown yourself? I was pretty sure I already knew the answer, but I still had to ask. For you to show yourself after all this time, it's almost as if you want to be arrested. If you just ran and hid yourself, X Day would happen for sure, so why do this?
You know already, don't you?
Saiki smiled weakly, and now I was certain.
I wanted to see you. That's all.
That's not all. I had been right after all. He wanted to test whether I would be able to kill him. But is that really all? What if deep down he actually wanted me to stop him? Do you want to stop X Day?
You're going to try and convince me now?
If that's what you want.
It's useless. My thoughts won't change. If you want to stop X Day, if you hate me, kill me.
That's not going to happen. I shook my head with strong conviction. I wouldn't dance to Saiki's tune. There would be no point if I killed you. This won't go the way you've planned. I won't let people kill each other. People have to live their lives. No matter how sad they feel or strong their hatred is, they have to, no matter what. But people cannot actually live in the world you think is ideal. I can't accept the way you think.
I see.
Saiki's expression didn't change a bit. He'd probably known what I was going to do from the start. Trying to force my hand, are you? But then, he quietly drew a gun and pointed it at Yanagi. Yanagi reacted, drawing his own weapon, but he was a moment too late. Yanagi!
I'm fine, he only grazed me.
Yanagi was hit, but he didn't stagger. His voice was calm. I sighed in relief as I made sure he was fine. And my hand moved to my holster. I have to stop him. I had to shoot. Not to kill him, to stop him. I had to shoot to protect others. I'll be fine. All my training has been for this day. I had to shoot to protect others.
Do you really have the luxury of standing around?
Did you shoot him again? Saiki's bullet had missed Yanagi by a hair. To unsettle me and provoke me into killing himself, Saiki had targeted Yanagi. This was no time for hesitation. First, I'd make him drop his weapon. Alright, here we go. That's one down. Right on target, my shot struck Saiki's wrist. The gun fell from his hand.
Impressive skills.
Saiki seemed unfazed by the gunshot. His wounded hand reached for his waist. Is he hiding a backup weapon? Probably several. I couldn't let him draw that. Here we go again. 2 down. The next shot struck his thigh. He lost his balance and went to his knees. Once the shot landed, Yanagi rushed forward towards Saiki.
Police, surrender quietly.
The SAT teams on standby stormed the compound. Maybe Yanagi had given them a signal. On his knees, Saiki pointed a gun at his own head. There was still some distance between him and Yanagi. Yanagi wouldn't get there in time. I won't let you die! I steadied my aim. One more. I wonder if I missed that shot if I would get a different ending. My last shot struck Saiki's shoulder. His arm went limp, and I saw the muzzle move away from his head. Well, that was risky, though, because he still could have got a reflex movement on the trigger. Yanagi didn't waste the opening.
It's over. Too bad.
Saiki was disarmed of his weapon, and then restrained. He didn't make any further attempts to resist. I closed in on Saiki, gun still trained on him. As I approached, I holstered my weapon and took out a pair of handcuffs. I get to make the collar. How appropriate a term I chose. Yuzuru Saiki. You're under arrest for murder and insurrection.
Hoshino, from now on you'll suffer forever.
Saiki didn't resist, but he seemed terribly sad.
Your heart will be pained at your inability to save people, crushed by the unfair malice in the world, and weighed down by sorrow. Why didn't you kill me? They'll still give me the death penalty.
Saiki was fixated on justice. Justice without doubt. But we couldn't come to an agreement. Then my chest did hurt. I understood. Because this was justice. Because there was no compromise. We would never see eye to eye.
It's impossible to erase all sorrow.
I really like this background. The church looks so pretty at sunset. Yanagi's quiet words put an end to the bitter silence.
No matter how hard it is, or how much they hurt each other, people will always have to bear that burden of sorrow. Still, no man is an island. When the sorrow is too much for us to take, we can support each other. They didn't have anyone to rely on. The police wouldn't listen. It was self-defense. There are countless different circumstances. But killing is just an excuse. No matter what feelings are driving them, people always fight against themselves. They have to overcome it on their own.
Yanagi had gone overboard once because he couldn't rein in his feelings. He had the resolve to bear his sins for life. He decided to own them as long as he lived. It made me want to support him with all my might.
That's just the rationale of the strong. No matter how much they're hurt or suffering, they can always face forward and live. But there are people who can't live in that kind of world. In this world.
And surely, Saiki's whispers describe the unvarnished truth of the world. December 31st, 11:55 p.m., so 5 minutes till midnight. Breaking news! The leader of Adonis, the group responsible for the X-Day crimes, has just been arrested. The government is expected to issue an urgent order lifting the Shinjuku Quarantine Act.
Seriously? We can finally leave?
Really? Are those horrible crimes finally over?
They did it. Everything's gonna go back to normal.
We don't have to live in fear anymore? Thank goodness. Truly. And just before the calendar rolled over, the happy news came. Shinjuku was a joyous place for the first time in a while. X Day didn't happen. Somehow we saved Shinjuku. Hooray! Is that our ending? Okay, no, not the ending yet. Oh, is that all? That was my feeling for a second there.
We have what we need, and you've answered enough questions. Good work. I didn't think they'd let us go so easily.
Saiki had been arrested. Yanagi and I had been interviewed and then promptly released. They didn't even ask us anything significant, and we didn't bring it up ourselves. Maybe Morioka had been there to witness the entire episode.
We'll probably call you back later. Relax. It won't be to lecture you or anything. You've done an amazing job solving the case. Truly excellent work.
No,
All of you did your utmost to help. No amount of thanks can possibly be enough. That's right. The X-Day crimes have plagued the city for a long time. The police have been under fire the whole time, and there have been so many victims. You put a stop to all that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. But just because we're relieved doesn't mean that we can stop here. Yes, it's too soon to celebrate. There are remnants of Adonis all over Japan. And it wouldn't be a hyperbole to say that this string of incidents was brought about due to police incompetence. There's an urgent need to review our structure. I understand. We need to be an organization that doesn't ignore a cry for help, no matter how small. A force for public security. I expect the SRCPO will be very active from now on.
Huh? I guess I won't be promoted for a long time then. I'm now the star of SRCPO.
Yeah, your efforts heard the public's cries. And you didn't give up on them. That's how we made it here. I think it was something only you could do, both as a police officer and as an SRCPO member.
Yes.
Even now, there are still people living in fear and despair. It's our duty to protect them. Let us return the police to its rightful form. To help those in sorrow however we can.
I was more impressed with the Superintendent General than I had ever been before. I was half expecting him to be an Adonis member. Wow, this is amazing.
Hey, the case is solved. This calls for a party. You're a simpleton as always. Single-minded. Or more like, no taste.
It's fine. That's just how Mineo is. And he has no reaction to that. I went to the office and found Enomoto and Sasazaka there, as well as Okazaki. The table was crowded with food, snacks, and drinks that they had apparently bought at the convenience store. Now we just need shiraishi.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I returned Yanagi's concern with a smile. The scars of arresting Saiki wouldn't disappear overnight, but I couldn't stop. I had to keep on fighting. I decided to press on despite the sorrow.
You always push yourself too hard. If you want me to spoil you, just say so.
Okay. Yanagi's large hand stroked my head.
I'm here for you. No matter what sad things happen, I'll support you. We can overcome anything together.
Yeah.
Enough flirting, Yanagi. We want you to give the toast. Me? You're the only one who can.
Right. Yanagi, you have to lead.
I'm not really used to doing this.
Yanagi stood up sighing. He raised a glass and looked at all of us. His eyes were gentle.
When I quit the police and started this place, I didn't know what I could do. I didn't believe I'd be able to do anything with the scant resources I had after leaving the force. Even though I gained collaborators, I didn't know if I could call them friends. But the fact that we made it all the way here is, without a doubt, only possible thanks to all of you. Every one of you has been indispensable. I know that well. Even though we all work towards our own individual goals, I'm grateful to you for listening to me. Truly, thank you. A serious toast? That's heavy, man. Come on, don't say that. We can rest now. But there's no way this is the end. Starting tomorrow, This is going to become a regular detective agency. Even if we decide to take different paths from here, you're all dear friends to me. You can always come to me if you need help.
Yeah.
Of course! You can always count on me, Yanagi. I'll send you intel.
I'm happy you count me as a friend.
Then, cheers.
He's got some good connections to start out with. With that, the party quietly started. Well, it was quiet at first. But it didn't stay that way.
This is good.
Actually, you know what? Okay, that's not the ending, but I'm gonna split it here. And the next episode will be the ending and the epilogue. So I assume the epilogue's gonna take a while. So yeah, I might as well make that a video, because I don't want this to end up being like an hour and a half. I was thinking an hour would be good, but this is gonna be way over an hour if I let this go on. So yeah, I'll see you there, hopefully shortly. I'm staying up all night to finish Yanagi and then some of the extras. So hope to see you in the next video or some of my other ones. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.